Welcome back to episode 3 of The Watchers. I'm your host, Rod Dye. I'm here with my guy, Watch Rio.
What's going on, man? Dario the Pope, man. I'm coming through. I see you, Rolex Rod. What's going on with you?
Man, not yet, man. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So,
Wow.
in the first couple episodes, we always, start off with, introducing ourselves and saying how many days we've been on the wait list. So as of today, I've been on the Rolex wait list for 54 days. 54 days. That's crazy.
That is
So,
crazy.
yeah, man. How about yourself?
I think I'm at like 48.
48 days.
47 to
Crazy.
48 days, man. I'm kind of losing track, man. But you want to know what's the craziest thing about us shouting out how many days we've been on the wait list? It's people been on there for 12, 18 months, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how they doing it, bro.
That's crazy. That's
I don't know how they
crazy,
doing
man.
it.
Before we get into the conversation and the AD journey, man, you got to start off with the wrist check, man.
Sure.
I'm gonna
What you
go
got
ahead and
going
let
on
you.
today?
I'm gonna go
You gonna
ahead.
let me
So
start today?
I'm gonna go ahead and let you kick it off today, man.
All right,
We
so
rocking, man.
I'm gonna show the bracelet first, and then bam. We kind of talked about this.
Yeah.
This is the actual, and this ain't even my favorite one, but this is probably the more flashiest version of my Timex Marlin. I have two of those. You know what I mean? This is their Jubilee two-tone version right here.
Oh.
Double dome dial, chronograph,
Yeah.
the money green dial. And I mean, I guess, let me ask you this, because I always wondered this. Would you call this bezel-less, or do you feel like that's the bezel, that little indent right there? Like, is that the bezel, or is that like no bezel? Like, I
Yeah, I
don't
would
know
just
how to
say
describe it.
I would just say it's a small bezel.
Small
Like
bezel.
just like a
It's a
small
40
bezel.
millimeter, but
Yeah.
I feel like it wears like a 38 or a 39.
Yeah.
It's super efficient. This is, like I said, one of their flashier versions of it.
Yeah.
And to go back to our last episode, I posted this on TikTok at Dario Lamont, by the way. Best watch under 200, bro. This
That's why,
series, best watch under 200, man.
man, we always talk about watches that punch above their weight class, man. You talk
Yeah,
about great value.
for
You
sure.
see the Jubilee two-tone bracelet, it'll make someone do a double take, it'll like first glance people just say, oh man, that's the Timex. Didn't even know
Yes,
Timex was making moves like that. So
1854, baby.
yeah. I like it. I like it. I love it actually, man. No, I love
So,
that. So what I did today, man, I took it back. I
what you
mentioned
got
this in
going
the
on,
last
man?
episode, man. Took it back to, a sentimental piece, man. And the best thing about, collecting, yeah, I mean, you can, there's, there's plenty of watches out there to get, people buy watches for various reasons, but, I know we talked offline. Some of the best, pieces that we have are those that were gifted to us. And I have a Bolivar Marine Star that I got from my
Yeah,
mom when I graduated college. When I graduated from Wright State, man, Bolivar Marine Star, the chronograph, got the date window between the 3 and 4. Yes, sir. So,
that's
yeah, man, I
good.
love this piece, man. Sports band, rose gold on the face, man. So, man, I love this piece, man. It was when I picked it out, in 2000 and 2000, the end of 2012, well, actually really 2000, early 2013 when I got it. I thought it was Hublot-ish. I
Mm.
thought but nah, I definitely like it, man. It's it was
Hublot,
for a while,
what
it
a
was my
true
only
blue
watch.
boy. You got two of those.
Got two
Yeah.
of those, man. Not only was it the watch that I got for graduation, man, but for a long time it was my only watch that I had aside from a smartwatch. It was the watch that I got married in as well.
Let's
So
go. It's
yeah,
sentimental value, bro. So first of
absolutely.
all, we kind of talked about this off air. that was my first watch that I had purchased,
Hmm.
not knowing, I actually knew you at the time, by the way, but like this was like 2020, early 21, and I was just having a conversation. I grabbed a Belova, and it happened to be the Marine Star. Mine's is black with yellow gold. Um, so I think that's just crazy. Belova is actually originally an American brand straight out of New York. A lot of people don't know that they were purchased by Japan. So, they still have the American heritage, but they've been going crazy. Before we get in our topic, I do want to ask you something about Belova. How you feel about their latest offerings that they've been doing? I know this is not your only one, so how you feel about them? Real quick take.
Man, I feel like honestly, Bolo is one of my favorite brands, regardless of price point. I love that they re-released the Super Seville, which is the other Bolo that I have. I love their automatics. I like the Accutrons as well. So I mean, I'm a big fan of Bolo, a big fan of what they're doing. I know they're under the Citizen umbrella as well, who they're doing amazing things as well. So that goes back to the point, that we've been making all along. As I say, like a watch is a watch is a watch. At the end of the day, it's about what you like, and there's great value, there's great pieces, in which you don't have to break the bank for. And I feel like Bulova, not only do they look appealing, they're relatively affordable for sure. And
Absolutely.
man, I'm not even though I've progressed in life. I'm not going to leave behind the brand that's held me down all these years.
I
So,
wouldn't.
yeah,
I wouldn't see like we make so real quick when it comes to that, like that last part that you just said. It doesn't matter how much like we advance, our knowledge advance, our bank account advance, our budget, or or our taste levels. At the end of the day, like when we make rules and we be like, man, no, I'm waiting for this date just 41 fluted jubilee. I'm waiting for that. I'm not buying nothing else between then. We're not talking about Belova though. We're not talking about those. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, you
yeah,
know, like I'm gonna wait till dinner. You know what I'm saying? Rolex or what are those? That's dinner. I didn't say I
yeah,
wasn't gonna have like this little snack. I'm not gonna eat another meal between then.
yeah,
So when I
okay.
say that, like if I see
Yeah,
something, especially if it's a great deal, it's a great value. Like I got when I got my lunar pilot, it was like I got it like Amazon one day only 67% off plus a coupon, bro. I got it sub 300 for an $800 watch. It's an $895 watch and it has heritage and the movement is crazy. I love the way it fit. Bro, how can you pass that up at the end of
yeah,
the day? So I don't think nothing is wrong with that. What I do want them to do, because I love what they're doing, it's like they have two faces. And one of their faces is all the things that we're praising them on right now. But then the other side of it is like they have a fashion watch kind of department, if you will. It's like they have, you know,
the
um,
mall watch.
the mall watch. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have this line where it's like you slightly above Invicta, you slightly above when you really have just some of the Marine Star. They got the Chrono version of it. They have a diver version. They have the Precisionist. They have Lunar Pilot. They have the Super Seville, and they have the newest, latest retro watch they just came out. The retro diver they just came out with.
Yeah,
That's just 9 different brands where they could just really focus on those
yeah,
and then keep focusing on higher horology on top of that. But if they get rid of that side, I think they could continue to start to increase a little bit more as far as current recognition. But either way, I'm a rock with them. I'm gonna stick beside them.
that precisionist movement, man, is top tier. The
Top tier,
precisionist
man.
movement is top tier, man. And the beauty of it is, like, I walked into a local a local jewelry store here in Columbus, and just to look at their timepiece to see what they had. And the lady who was helping me out, the sales associate, she, for one, it's eye catching, especially one I have with the green dial. I mean, the green dials, they're I feel like you can't go wrong with the green dial, period. But exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the fact that she was looking, she's like, "Oh wow, that's a that's a nice bubble you have there," and just the fact that with the precision this movement has the sweeping second hand, you would think it's an automatic if you didn't know better. So it's yeah, like I said, great brand. Like I said, love what they're doing. They definitely could yeah, if they wanted to, they definitely could. I'll say, move up, position themselves, a bit more up market, but they're definitely, affordable and not even. I'll just say entry level, not even like entry luxury, just entry level. But they definitely have
Hmm.
some, just great value, especially when you get to that 500 to $1,000 mark. At least at MSRP, I know you were able to get your
No,
new
yeah, for
pilot for
sure. The
less than that, but
MSRP. Yeah,
that 500 to $1,000 mark, I mean, great value. So even then, I
exactly.
know like the Marine Stars are, it can be $300-400, but
Hmm.
great value. No one's going to sneeze at you for having the Volvo on
Agreed, man. I just wanted to get your take on that, man.
for
So
sure.
back to this 58 days, bro.
Man, 54, but who's counting, right?
54, who's counting? 54 days, bro. That's
Crazy. So I'm gonna share my AD experience, man. And so yeah, 54 days, walked in, went to the AD. Now, mind you, I've seen a number of, YouTube videos about various AD experiences. My AD experience was, I mean, it was a good experience. Walked into Diamond Cellar, talked with actually the sales director there. I talked for about a good, 30 minutes or so, talked about everything from career, everything, what's, interest, what interests me and, getting a Rolex and, just talking. But I feel like it was just a genuine conversation, really.
mhm.
I didn't even really identify what I wanted right offhand. We were just having a general conversation. I walked in, I had the Breitling Super Ocean on. So he knew I was a watch guy from there. So we just began talking and, we looked at some of the models there, identified the 41 millimeter, white gold, mint green dial as the, preferred piece. And they tell you not to, they tell you going with one in mind, but he did ask if I was, flexible, on the dial color, just given how sought after the green dial is. And then, kind of gave him my, preferences, which for me personally, 41 millimeter on Jubilee. With the except outside of that, I'm pretty flexible. I pretty much like them all. Like I want it to be on Jubilee, preferably fluted. I like the smooth bezel look as well, So yeah, so it's pretty good, But then I left. Like we, had a great conversation. Left and he followed up almost immediately with like the watch and just saying that he'll get to work, on the watch. I've checked in with him a couple times, and but really no response. So I went back up there. Uh, I got a referral through somebody who's I'll say a VIP at the AD. So I went back up there and essentially, just, I'll say reintroduce myself, if you will, to someone else. And like I said, another great conversation, but fortunately, I'll say nothing. It really hasn't netted the watch that I want yet. And of course, when I travel out of town, if there's a local AD there and I have time to stop in, I'll stop in, have a conversation, introduce myself. And there was a time where they actually had the watch I wanted there and
Oh,
tried it on and was told that they couldn't sell me the watch.
stop. So wait.
So
'Cause I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you finish. So,
yeah.
so you went to another location. Was this in town or out of town?
So I was out of town. I was out of town on business, just stopped
So when you
in
go out of
and
town, you kind of look around and see if there what authorized dealers are there, just to expand your chances. I hear people do that, so that's smart. So you went in there.
absolutely.
They had the 41 millimeter date just steel, white gold, fluted, Jubilee, mint dial. They had it there.
So there they had the black dial. As I mentioned, I was
Okay,
flexible
but
on
you
the
said
dial,
you
but
was
they had the
flexible on the
black
dial. So,
dial
but they had all the other
and
specs you wanted.
all the other specs that I wanted. The watch was there. I tried it
Mm.
on, and I mean, perfect fit. I was like, oh, we don't even have to take any links off of this one. It's a perfect fit right here. This I'm like, oh, this is for me.
This is my
That's
watch.
the first
This
thing
is
I
my
did. Oh,
watch.
this is my watch. This is for me. And then she started laughing, but ultimately said that she couldn't sell me the watch. Just took my name and of course my name down as an interest and said that she would just follow up with me when the watch was available for purchase, even though it was available because it was there. She told me that it wasn't even like allocated. She just couldn't sell me the watch, which I thought was crazy.
So let me
And
stop, bro. So like, as I hear you say this out loud,
yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah,
mean, yes, that's wild.
crazy.
But you know what I'm really fascinated about, and I ain't really trying to take it here, but we gonna take it here today. I wonder how come they never actually got like a discrimination suit filed against them. Like we know how they operate, right? But
Yeah,
usually, right? So think about like, I'm not like think about legally, right? They literally usually they say this is a display watch. This watch is actually allocated to somebody else, which is not really true because they wouldn't let you try on probably a watch that was somebody else's off drop, right? Like think about it. You see what I'm saying? And or whatever. But she literally said it's not even allocated. So most of the reasons that they say they got to have certain amount of inventory XYZ. She literally said to you, young man, I just can't sell you this
I
watch.
just can't sell you this watch. So it was a young African American lady there. So as far as discrimination, I don't think they could really do
I ain't
that. I would say it's a pretty diverse store. I don't
discrimination.
know.
Discrimination ain't gotta be racial.
They make it seem like it, but no, that's valid.
yeah,
They make it seem like no, that's valid. And the crazy thing is, so
yeah.
I went to the we have two 80s in town, so stopped in at the other one just to visit, and I shared this with you. So actually, um, there was a Jubilee smooth bezel, blue dial, 36 millimeter
Mm,
available. So I was there,
okay.
and she offered it to me. I tried it on, and she said if that was the watch I wanted, I could have walked out of there that day with it.
Wow. So wait,
So
there was one in play. There was an actual move.
so
Okay.
upon the walk in, I walked
Okay.
in. It was available. She said I could have walked out with a 36 millimeter, but I don't want the 36 millimeter. I want the
Yeah,
41 millimeter. So I
absolutely.
declined it. And of course, I was thinking like maybe I should have just took this one,
See, yeah.
and at least I would have had one. And then ultimately, when the 41 came available, also could have sold it or just could have kept it and just had a blue dial and another dial. But I decided to just pass on that one for the watch that I truly wanted.
Mm,
So those are my AD experiences.
yeah.
After visiting a few different, locations, there was one that I was able, I could have walked out with one same day, but not the case size that I wanted. So that being said, 54 days.
Hey man, bro, I think you missing. I think you miss. We've had these conversations. What about that situation with the black date just that had the diamond dial?
Oh, that was the one where I was the same one where I tried it on. When I
Okay,
tried on the well, when I just tried on the black dial,
okay.
white gold, they
So,
just
so I
same
thought it
one.
was a black
But
with
they offer me
states.
the say because they offer me that's when they offer the that's another thing. They told me that one was unavailable, but I could buy the certified pre-owned if
They
I
gonna
wanted
push
that
that CPO.
with the
They gonna
diamond
push that
markers,
CPO.
but I didn't want the certified pre-owned.
Right.
A great watch. I don't want the watch with the diamond markers. I just want the watch that I want. And of course, that just brings a point to how long do you wait, right? I know
Mhm.
sometimes I'll just like, you know what, I'm gonna just get one you go get one, on the secondhand market, and then some days like, you know what, I haven't had a Rolex up to now, so what's so what's it gonna hurt me to just wait till I get the call?
Before
So
we get to that part, because I think
yeah,
that you brought up a great, interesting point on that. Before we get there, there's still that part where I feel like a lot of us who once we make that step where we like we want a Rolex, right? A lot of us say we want a Rolex. A lot of us know the name before we even understand the heritage, the brand, their craftsmanship, the names of the actual names of the watches, the nicknames of the watches, the different lines, the tool watches, the sport watches, the dress watches. Before we would get there, some of us already want it. But when we say, you know what, I am learning more about watches, I'm collecting watches, and I want a Rolex. When we get to that point, that where you are and where I am right now, and we're going through this experience of building relationships with ADs, we start playing mind control with ourselves because we're used to having money and going into a place and being able to purchase
well,
the product, right?
yeah,
What you talked to me about just now is like, first of all, I commend your, I call it discipline because you want what you want, right? So but then it's like you said you walked in, you had a normal conversation with the sales director. You talk, but think about it. Like when you walk into a store, do you normally have a 30-minute conversation with the sales director? When they're asking you about your family, when they're asking you about your current job, when they checking to see what kind of clothes you already got on or what kind of watch you already got on, and
yeah,
what's your plans if you got one, what you were gonna do with it, what's the special occasion, and they kind of that's their sales, that's them prospecting. That's
yeah,
them figuring out, okay, this is his salary, this is his family, these are his expenses, this is his income, this is his, and then they're like, well, how much more money can I get off of this person? Is this a one-time Rolex buyer? Is this a flipper? Which, that could go either way. One side of people feel like, you shouldn't flip these watches because they want to hold it. But once you buy it, you could do whatever you want to do with it. But they don't want to sell the flippers. Or is this person somebody that we can actually build a long-standing relationship with, and I can get $250,000 out of them, right? So you start buying other things. Now, before we start going to where you was going to with the gray market, there's other options, right? So the other options they say they want you to make them your jeweler. You know what I mean? They want to be your personal jeweler. They're not saying they want to have you buy things you don't want, but as you're buying things, you're basically building up. This is what I've spent with you, right? And they say there's a list, but from what I've been told, there's technically not a list. The list is developed once that salesperson wants to allocate a watch to you, then they have to submit things on your behalf.
yeah,
But they're not like, oh, Rod came in or Dario came in, he wanted this Batgirl GMT. You know what I mean? And he's been on here since February 21st of 2024. He's next. Let's call him. That's not how it works. So how are you dealing with like the back and forth of, okay, Mother Day passed. Should I have bought her a tennis bracelet from there? Okay, I like this Breitling or I like this Oris watch. They got them up there. I might as well go spend it up there to start building up my budget spend so I can say that, hey, he spent this much money with the AD, even though you can get it for 40 or 50% off if you go to Joma Shop, Watch Max, Chrono 24. Like, how are you dealing with that aspect of like, should I start spending with them to get the watch that I want?
that's a good question. So one thing I I told myself, and I'm standing on, is that I'm not spending money unnecessarily, and I'm going to make
Mm,
sound financial decisions. I'm not just going to buy watches that I don't want just for the sake of it, just to appease them, just to I'm not going to buy stuff I don't want just for the right to spend my money with them to buy what I do want. Like it sounds crazy to me. Like
Saying it out loud, right?
yeah, it sounds crazy. Now I go there, I understand the process of getting it, from the AD. Obviously, you're getting it at the retail price as opposed to the some of the insane markups that you get on the gray market. But making like I said, sound decisions at the end of the day. Like if there are other watches that I want there, and let's say there's a watch that's $6,000, but I know I can go get it for 3,500, somewhere else. I'm not going to pay, $2,500 more just to get in good with an AD, and I still may not get the call. Like it just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to buy unnecessary jewelry just to appease them. I feel like if you want to, and this is, contrary to like their methods, but like if you want to earn, at least for me, it's like if you want me as a loyal customer, sell me what I want.
First.
Like just sell me what I want.
And
Like
we're in sales,
period.
by the way.
Like we're in
So
sales. Like I'm in sales. Like
we
sell me what I
know,
want. Take care of
yeah,
me. Like
we
take care.
can't build relationship with Fortune 100
Yeah.
companies like we do on a day-to-day basis in our
Yeah.
daytime jobs and careers without making sure that we give the client what they came in looking for first.
Yeah.
Then we can
Mhm.
start talking about these other different things. And it's amazing how this brand, Patek Philippe, uh, Vacheron Constantin, um, ALS, um, and even Audemars Piguet, they've created a market to where the roles are reversed. The roles are literally reversed.
Yeah.
You got to. It's like somebody is saying, "I'm going to take all your money and overcharge you, and I'm gonna make you spend. You gonna beg me to give me your money, like that's
Right. And
crazy."
that's crazy. When you look at, and the thing is, like when you look at now I know from a visibility standpoint, obviously Rolex is king. That's why it wears the crown. But from where it sits in like the tier watch, all the watches that you just named off sit higher than Rolex. From a
Technically,
prestige standpoint, and it's crazy, especially where like it's not even like the watches are scarce, right?
one point three
It's
million
crazy.
dollars. I
So
mean, not $1 million, million in production. They produce 1.3 million watches, and they
yeah,
use. I heard that they usually try to keep that under wraps, and that's been revealed as of what they did in 2024.
correct.
How
And they
much they
just
produce.
like stagger them out, and they have their methods, and I get it, but I just stand on what I stand on. At the end of the day, like I said, I already don't have one. If there's a deal that comes up on the gray market, and I think it makes sense, okay, then I'll get the piece. And ultimately, as far as like ADs, I know what they say, like, don't shop around. At the end of the day, like the loyalty goes to the person that works with me. Like, period. Like,
All day,
find me the
every
watch I
day.
want. Like, find me the watch I want. Period.
Listen,
Like,
listen. As a
find me
salesperson,
the watch I want.
I do believe there are good salespeople in this world.
Yeah.
I do believe there are people who say, "Hey, I like offering this product because it brings a solution. It helps people out. It helps businesses out, and or it brings some kind of satisfaction into this world. It helps when we was selling life insurance back to back. You know what I'm saying? It helped families out at the end of the day, right? Putting that to the side. Why am I listening to somebody that's just trying to sell me something to tell me not to go buy it from somebody else? Don't
Correct.
shop around.
Just wait. Like, don't
That's
shop around. It's
crazy.
crazy. And at the end of the day, like I said, I do what I want to do because I'm loyal. I'm gonna be loyal to the person that can give me the watch first. And like when I think about like the like people who like sell me, like for example, people like Shoe Connects who come across, like
Yeah.
I work with them because they're taking care of me. Rod,
Bam.
got these bricks in size 12. What do you want to do? I need them.
Yeah, I need them.
Need
I
them.
got
I need them. Send them through.
you.
But yeah, like I said, I take care of those who take care of me. And at the end of the day, like I think people need to realize, and I think people's eyes are opening, especially with like the luxury goods market just getting exposed as a whole. Even though we are those who know, like, we already know what's going on,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I just feel like we just realize that we have the power. Like we have the
Mm.
power as the consumer, and then we have the money.
Yep.
And okay, you don't get the call if you want it bad enough, you can, go on the secondary market. And I feel, I mean, okay, well, they want to, like a day judge. Okay, well, I can go get a vintage day judge. I go get a Santos and be just as happy.
There you go.
I can
It's a
go,
guy. It's a guy.
I can go get
He's
an
a
Avitimer
dealer.
and be just as happy. I mean, it's
Of
not the
course,
necessarily the Rolex, but at the end of the day, it's a nice piece. I go get
it's
there's
cool.
plenty of other nice pieces.
It's
So
cool.
yeah, plenty of other
It's
nice
cool for
pieces.
sure.
Yeah.
It's cool for sure.
But we're talking
Whether
about
it's
it
funny or
because
not.
we want the call. It's like if I wanted back, like I just wanted to, especially 54 days. And now it's just almost like a game. Like, how long is this going to take? Because ultimately, I mean, we could just bought the watch.
Exactly.
Just go buy it.
Because I follow a lot of gray market dealers. Ain't no way in the world that I could go type type in YouTube or TikTok and say watch dealers or watch deals or flip watches or whatever gray market. How everybody got millions and millions of dollars of Rolex in the inventory. There's a guy on TikTok. He's on 47th Street. He's a dealer. He's a wholesaler dealer, but he's basically like he got this tag say, "Stop lying to the people." Uncle, shout out to Uncle Manny, NYC. Uncle Manny be like, "Stop lying to the people. Everything is available." They saying, "Oh, nobody has this watch. Nobody has this watch. Oh, it costs this much. We have to charge you double for it. Oh, you go into an AD, they don't have the watches. They're lying to you. They have it right there. They just don't want to sell it to you. They don't want to have you spend the money. So once they start, if they came out directly in a more harsher way or in a more direct way of what she said, I'm sorry, I just can't sell you this watch right now. Hey, listen, I don't know what you capable of spending. I'd rather sell this watch right here to somebody I know I can make $250,000 off a commission in. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it ain't like that for everybody. But at the end of the day, I do truly believe that there do come to a point to where you can have both. You can have this is your experience. You want that particular watch because it's the market on it on the street is to $10,000 more than what you can get it with an AD. If you trust that this AD is really building and really trying to work on that relationship with you, then you wait that 6 to 12 months, and then you'll have that experience walking in, champagne. You know what I'm saying? Everything there. They got the stickers on there for you and everything, and you get the white glove treatment, and you get it at MSRP. You know, but then there are certain things that I feel like that are discontinued that you may never get a call from an AD from. You may never get a call for a Daytona. You may never get a call for a Pepsi Meteor Dial. You may never get a call for Olive Presidential or Prezi, with the Olive Dial, Ever Rose. You may never get those calls. Tiffany Blue Dial, anything. You may never get the call, whether it's an OP. So if you really want that watch, then you definitely should go hit up somebody on a second market. And I think there's a lot of great options to where some of these second market dealers, not just these websites, but actual second market dealers who have 30, 20, 30, 40 years of experience in this game, you get an AD-esque type experience with them.
Yeah.
You go into a place like, a luxury bazaar and you deal with a Roman or you deal with Alex and the guys that's over there, you might get that same kind of feeling and it's special and they will work with you. And they're actually going out saying, Rod, this is the one you want. We got it in stock. We don't have it in stock. Give me at the end of the day, I'm gonna call you. We can have it by Thursday. It's gonna be X amount. Now, if you really look at the time, sweat equity, and then the role reversal, some of the charges for the second market be a little bit above MSRP, $3,000 or $4,000 over MSRP, or some of them are actually under MSRP. As soon as you
Mhm.
walk out the store, what they try to make it seem like that all Rolexes are all just booming and they're appreciating their value, and that's not really necessarily true. And that's one of my favorite brands. So I think there's a balance, man. It's a balance. Either you can wait for certain models, or you can go to a secondary model and then buy the seller and get the watch that you want. I personally, after a while, you already know how I'm rolling, bro. I personally, if I've been waiting for 60 days or 6 months,
Is that the limit? Is 60 days the limit?
now I ain't got no limit right now. I'm gonna stay on the list. Honestly, I'm gonna just stay on the list and just see how long it take them, right? But I'm gonna see what they call me on, because what they call me on, I might already have already.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna just hey, oh, I got that already,
How do
and
you
I might have
feel?
spent $2,000 on it. But guess what? They said you are important. I'm gonna go out and allocate this for you. Really call you back and get the best version of this for you. I can gift wrap it, make it the best situation for you, because they want you to come back, because they
Yeah.
they're making their little margins off of it. And I don't mind margins. I don't mind paying for the valet when I go out somewhere. I don't mind
I
paying
know.
to cut the line. I don't mind paying for the VIP section to sit down. So
You know
why
me, and you know how I feel about all that.
first
I
class
was
ride?
about to say, I'll pay the ticket, yeah, especially if it's worth it. I'll pay the upgrade fee. I'll pay
So
the
this
first
gotta
class
apply
ticket.
to the watch game, bruh.
That's valid. That's valid, and I
Mm-hmm.
understand that thinking. I understand that thinking. It just has to make sense.
Yeah, you do.
It just
I
has
don't
to
think you
make
should
sense.
pay double for, just because you want a GMT. Like if, if the Superman, I mean not the Superman, I'm sorry, if the Pepsi is basically 12 to 13,000, maybe 14,000 now, you shouldn't have to pay 23,000 for it. That's absurd. That's obscene.
You shouldn't.
A Tiffany
You
Blue
shouldn't.
Oyster Perpetual shouldn't cost nowhere near $20,000 just because it's that's heavy. That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
That's insane. So I'm with you on that. But
Yeah,
those the hype watches.
that's crazy.
All
Yeah,
GMTs are hype. You know what I'm
all
saying?
hype.
Right
It's
now,
all
I think
hype.
they're beautiful watches, but it's hype. Daytona's
It's
super
all
hype.
hype. It's all hype.
Yeah.
It's all hype.
So how long you waiting until you get it to watch before we wrap up, bro? How long you waiting until you get a watch on the secondary market and just say, hey, it is what it is?
I'm gonna stay on the list, and I always keep my eyes on the secondary market.
I hear
And
you,
for real,
man.
we talk often. Could have been pulled the
Yeah.
trigger, honestly, but it's
We see deals every day.
see deals,
Moses,
see
Watch
deal,
King,
yeah, we
bro,
see deals every day, even
every
locally,
day.
even with like
Locally.
local plugs. Like could have been pulled the trigger. Got other things in motion, but I definitely I'd say sooner rather than later, honestly. So we're just gonna see how long it take. I got a quick question for you. How you feel about people getting allocations from the AD and flipping them?
I feel like they could do whatever they want to do with the money that they spent.
Exactly. It's free
At the end of
It's
the
free
day,
enterprise. At the end of the
and
day,
granted, I know that might be frowned upon, but at the end of the day, I think they know that. And I think the way they make their money back is through getting you to buy $6,000 cufflinks and, you know, above, MSRP watches that aren't worth MSRP on the secondary market, and even if they're brand new, right?
they
Um,
make you go buy a Bell and Ross that's 5,500 where you can go get it for 3,000. I like
drama.
exactly. Yeah, but
So
nah,
yeah,
absolutely, man. Yeah, I don't. What
and I
they
think
keep
it's
always
more
telling us
so
if I
about
buy a car and I
people.
want to paint it, I forgot what color it said. Like you want to
Oh
paint
yeah, you
them?
can't buy a Ferrari and paint it purple. They'll send you a cease and desist, bro.
Yeah,
Ferrari will send
Yeah,
you a cease and desist.
but
Now,
I'm
whether you
just
listen to them, it don't matter. But
yeah. But at the end of the day, like if you buy something, if you want to sell it, that's on you. Like who are they to say now you may not get another allocation from? But then again, who's to know? There's so many watches on there. I almost feel like I've seen more online than I do actually on wrist, and I totally
it's
get it.
available, bruh.
I totally
They
get it.
are available.
These watches
Don't let
are
them fool
around.
us.
These
They
watches are
tricking us,
around,
bro.
man.
You can't trick the Gucci.
You can't, man. You can't.
I ain't going
You
for it.
can't. You can't, man. So yeah, it's crazy, man. But shoot, how long? I know you said you're gonna stay on the list, man. How long before you go gray market, man?
Man, I've had a great conversation with a couple of great dealers already, man. Just I have actually a friend that I grew up in my childhood who I ended up finding out was an authorized dealer, and I never really put two and two together. And I had a great conversation with him. But I'm not expecting any kind of favors or any kind of alley oops or anything like that. I just wanted to be fair and just be direct and honest. So, I'm gonna let that relationship, rekindle and fester. It sounds crazy that we're talking about this with an actual salesperson, but that's wild. Okay. Anyway, and see where that goes. But and still, there's certain things that I'm not gonna let them sell me just because I am an entrepreneur myself. And I do understand, certain things. This is the way, this is the game. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna stay on the wait list. I'm gonna stay this, so on and so forth. But generally speaking, there's watches that are 2024s or 2025s brand new that as soon as you buy it, they actually lose 20 to 30% as soon as you buy it. And I'm also not going to let them allocate that to me. And I'm actually going to respectfully decline some of those models. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's not because I'm trying to flip it, but it's because I'm not going to let you try to offer me what you already know that a lot of the market know is I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, but just the watches that, that doesn't hold their value. So let me give it to this dude right here because my big spender or the guy who do this, I want to give him the best. Now I'm not going to let you do that to me. You know what I mean? So
We
if I
not your
don't,
little people. We not your
I'm not
little
to
homies, man.
look.
We
I'm
not your
not to
little
look.
homies,
Yeah.
man.
So with that being said, I already got it. I listened to the YouTube enthusiasts, the ADs, authorized users, unauthorized dealers, and I know which few watches that I'm looking for. That if they say, I'm like, oh, it's green. If they offer this, I'm gonna say probably not because I literally can go here and get it tomorrow for cheaper. You know what I mean? And it could be a 23 or a 24 or whatever the case may be. So, you know me, bro. I keep it real. I'll probably get me like an Explorer 2 to from the secondary market, maybe the second or third generation of it with the red GMT stick for like 6,500 and be happy with it as a daily while I wait to get the call. That's just how I am. I got to get both at the same time because I would be happy with both at the same time. Or maybe I'll mess around and find my birth year or my son's birth year Rolexes. You know what I'm saying? And have those. So once they get at a particular age, hey, I've been wearing this Rolex because this was your birth year, 2006, this 2007. Boom. They turn 25 or they about to get married. I'll give them the Rolex. You understand what I'm saying? But they don't have those already. So I got to go on the second market for that. Can't be mad at me for doing that.
Can't get mad. And at the end of the day, the 80s are to get mad. You should have gave me my watch when I asked for it, when I tried it on.
That
And
part.
which they don't care because someone else will buy it, which is all good. So
Yeah, good.
yeah, it's all good, man. So
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. Stay tuned to the AD journey, man. More to
Yeah,
come. You guys will be the first to know when we get the call. When we get the
absolutely.
call. So let's
Shout out to 54 days, bro.
54 days, B.
Shout out to all the ADs though. It's all love, man. Y'all just doing what y'all doing. Shout out everybody, man. But we got our gripes, so we gonna go ahead and just use this as therapy till we get that call.
Yeah. sometimes I just think like, man, like the AD is just like I said, it seems cool, but it make you think like they're the type of like the hall monitors in school or something. like I get hall monitor vibes. Like I get like
Well,
I don't
you
know.
say, are you counting how many hall passes I used this week, bro? What you on, bro? I'm
Man,
chilling.
no, I'm getting hall monitor. Yeah, exactly, man. Like
Yeah, man, relax.
I'm getting hall monitor vibes from them, man. I'm getting this is the first I'm getting first, first position of power vibes, like where they got the leverage. Where the thing is they don't, because ultimately got the money. So, you know, and it's just I'll just say this one last thing as far as like making people buy pieces. I'll just say don't buy the things that you don't want. Don't unnecessarily spend money. Because
Right.
if you spend money on these miscellaneous pieces, miscellaneous jewelry, in efforts to in hopes to get the watch that you want allocated to you, you could have taken all of that money and then just got it on the gray market anyway.
Anyway,
So,
the exact watch you wanted. And on that note, bro, I can't say it no better, man.
man, on that note, we are the Watchers.
Sorry.
Till next time, catch you
Till
at
next
episode
time.
4.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Share all of that.
share,
We
all
are the
that.
Watchers.
Let's go.